A man accidentally dropped a cigarette butt and was shocked to find the grass on the lawn suddenly dodging it. This scene stunned Jay. He quickly came over to check the cigarette butt, but when his fingers touched the soil, he realized it was not the normal soil he was familiar with. He promptly picked up a hammer nearby and started digging. As the soil was turned over, Jay was surprised to discover that beneath this lawn, the soil was like yellow Play-Doh. Jay was immediately gripped by a deep fear. He hurriedly called his wife Lisa over. The two decided to dig together to see what secrets were hidden underneath. However, they dug for a long time without finding any valuable clues. Just as Lisa was about to give up, a strange cry suddenly came from the sky. That terrible sound seemed to come from another world. Jay quickly brought over a ladder, wanting to climb to the roof to check the situation. But the scene before him left him shocked. He saw that the entire community was composed of identical detached houses, stretching as far as the eye could see. Jay couldn't help but feel a sense of despair. What the hell was this place? Thinking back to a few months ago, Jay and Lisa had come to a real estate sales office, dreaming of owning a house of their own. The salesman Matt enthusiastically introduced their properties. Although located in the suburbs, they were all large detached houses and only 800 yuan per square meter. This price was undoubtedly a huge temptation for the couple, so they followed Matt here without hesitation. Bizarre things followed in quick succession. When they actually set foot in this community, they found it was completely deserted. All the houses looked exactly the same, densely arranged together. This strange sight made Jay feel a sense of unease. They followed Matt to house number 9. The interior decoration, appliances, and furniture were all complete and were all provided completely free of charge. If they could pay the deposit today, they could also be exempted from a year of property management fees. Such attractive conditions, presumably no one could refuse. The couple were naturally very tempted. They began to look around the house. However, just as they were about to leave, they found that Matt and his car had disappeared. The two waited at the original place for a long time, but still saw no trace of Matt. Jay realized that something was wrong, so he pulled Lisa to drive away. However, they got lost in this seemingly ordinary community. No matter how long they drove, they always ended up back in front of house number 9. Jay thought it was a problem with his wife's driving skills, so he took over the driving and had Lisa open the phone navigation. But then they discovered in horror that the phone had no signal in this place. Having no choice, Jay decided to drive in one direction. At least this way they could leave this haunted place first. However, even when it got dark, they still hadn't been able to drive out of the housing estate. Until the moment the gasoline ran out, the car actually stopped at the door of house number 9. By this time, the couple was already exhausted, so they decided to rest in the house for a night first. However, in the house, they found that there was actually a bottle of champagne and some strawberries in the refrigerator. They were very hungry now. Without thinking too much, they could only eat their fill first. They spent the night like this. The next day, Jay wanted to find the way out. Since the car was out of gas, they could only continue to search in one direction. However, even when the sun went down, they still hadn't been able to walk out of this community. Just as they were about to despair, Lisa suddenly noticed a light shining through a window. They excitedly rushed into that house, but found that it was still house number. However, what was even stranger was that at this time, a box had somehow appeared at the door.